East side. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it. Right. Yeah. Right, 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 right. Yeah. Yeah. Turn it up. 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 I'm rolling back with it, roll it up. Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up. Hi, nigga. Like the society, nigga. Told the script of values. I don't need them anyway. I promise I'm fine with some brownies in me. Break the knob off the sound, please. Drown out all the bullshit. Out so loud in the brown. Leave calming down all the shooters. I keep that hit it with me, watch me turn it up. If my niggas with me, then we turn it up. Did you missing, nigga, never turning up? This ain't fiction, nigga, better learn from us. Getting pissy, nigga. Too much gas, too much liquor in me, maybe throwing up. Bunch of crippin' niggas, they gon' throw it up. I'm a fire starter, have it going up on a Tuesday. Running the shit with a missing shoelace. Flipping the coin like I'm Two-Faced. Your chicken rejoice, that's 2K. I'm done.
As long as I ain't grabbing the weave, I'm getting 2K.
I've been
She's slapping the D on her tongue, all in the cheek. Look like she got a toothache. Come on. Come on, man.
I've been playing 2K all day. All day.
I stopped fucking with 2K because they just drop the same game every year.
The same game.
No, it ain't the same. They add new features.
Ever since they did that My Play in the park and everything, it's just the same.
That nigga, that's why we play the game.
It was like that when I lived in Lakewood.
Well, I'm a live nigga. I'm a live nigga anyway.
You not like, damn, that's when we was young.
I'm a live nigga. I'm an NBA live, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Nigga, so.
They said they about to bring that shit back.
The only reason I stopped playing it is because they stopped making it.
I used to play live too. Last NBA live I played was NBA Live '96.
Yeah, they the ones that's not trying to steal your money.
That's real close to the last one that was made.
Yeah, I played.
You said '96.
Man,
I didn't say it was the last year.
It was
I
like
said it was
04
close.
or 05, I think.
I said it was close.
I used to play NBA Live, boy. Shoot.
Man, put that money on that thing. Niggas come over, get their feelings hurt, want to come back and shoot the house up.
Yeah, when I used to play that last season, I had a guy. We used to play whole seasons too. I had a 7-foot 3-point shooter named John.
Come on now, you made that nigga generic. Like, oh, he's not gonna do nothing. His name is John.
They're like, y'all gotta cover John. Y'all can't cover Johnny.
I don't play against niggas with creative players. I don't do that.
Oh, nigga, you come over my house, the New York Knicks has a person named Juan Wise on there. And he's raining threes and slam dunking on Shaq.
Yeah, we not doing that. And then nigga want to bet some money on that. Come on, bro.
So you ain't play with people made up players?
Not against each other. On my career, my player, that's the whole reason of playing it. But against someone else, no, that's like you having a ringer. And you like, come on, man, let's play this fair game. No, nigga, you got a ringer.
Everybody should have a ringer, though. Everybody's supposed to have one.
And look,
everybody's supposed to have at least 1, 2 made-up players.
Everybody come over my house want to pick Kobe.
Right.
Now, we know Kobe is severely like, you know what I'm saying? We watch the game of Kobe keep shooting and missing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when Kobe gets on NBA 2K, all of a sudden he is Superman. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that he wasn't the shit, but come on. I done seen a game where Kobe is just shooting and missing.
Yeah. I done beat the Lakers with Kobe. That's like getting the Falcons with Vic. I mean, nigga, Vic had like 1,000 speed, nigga.
Man, first of all,
nigga throw no passes all
but
game.
I'm playing with the New York Knicks, and I don't give a fuck if they're not good enough. With one wise one on there, they're good enough.
Yeah.
Trash.
I was dog. Look, it'll be halfway through the game, and nigga be like, "But who is wise?" Nigga, I'll be like, "Oh, it's a new nigga." I just updated the roster.
I just double this nigga every time. That's it.
Oh.
Now, BDot know damn well he ain't beat me at no NBA 2K in my crib.
I didn't even play you in 2K.
I couldn't play 2K. I couldn't play 2K. I played live.
I didn't even play you in 2K.
NBA Live was my game, and NBA Live was when they didn't have permission to have Jordan on the team, but they had some guy who was made up like Jordan, who had the same stats as Jordan, but it wasn't his name.
Now, all them games used to do that shit. When they start trying to do that
I'm not
NIL.
about to pay you, nigga. Number 23, JM.
Yeah,
Right,
that's exactly
when they
right.
Wrong with you,
Right,
nigga?
right.
When
We're going to be on this game, whether you like it or
Yeah,
not.
bro.
Jordan Michael.
Jordan Michael, nigga.
Right. Before NIL, them college games, a lot of them they had the players. They just had random names.
Right, random
But you can
names.
tell by their skill set,
Yeah.
you know who they were. So
Yeah.
I got new strains today. One of my favorite
Sound like
all-time
hemorrhoids.
strains. Whoa, pause. nigga. Pause. Why? Why are we doing this?
strain, nigga.
Strain. Okay. You need to take those back to the lyric room and make it a rhyme. He's like, strain, nigga. I got punchlines. Come on now. Moby Dick. Go ahead, drop it.
I already did it in my head.
Moby Dick is one of my favorite strains. It's a legendary strain. Actually, when I used to grow back in the day, I got it from Dynafilm. The seed company called Dynafilm. It's a Spanish seed company. And it is White Widow and Haze mixed together. And I know that doesn't sound as spectacular as Granddaddy
that
Runtz
do
mixed with.
sound crazy.
But nowadays you'll be like, it's like jelly donuts mixed with sherbet. It's like, yeah, and you like, nigga, that White Widow mixed with Haze, nigga, that sounds basic as fuck, right?
Right.
It don't sound basic to you?
No, because White Widow at the time was like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Shit.
That was that shit.
What? Stop
I
playing.
know a white dude that grew White Widow in Alabama. We tried to rob that nigga. Boy, I just couldn't find out where he lived at.
He wasn't gonna tell you.
Speaking of White Widows, rest in peace to Gene Hackman.
Is he dead? I thought his wife and them was dead.
Him and his wife.
I thought it was just his wife and his daughter.
No, I thought it was him and his wife.
And his dog.
And his dog.
So it ain't technically
Hold
a
up,
widow.
did-
That was a bad
Did they get
segue.
unalived?
Yeah. I don't know if they got him alive, but
I thought they said they found pills, and I didn't read too much into it. I just seen
Right.
the headline. So Gene Hackman
Somebody
was
killed somebody.
that was my nigga.
Gene Hackman was good at
Yeah, I fuck with Gene Hackman.
You know why I fuck with him? Because he's like, sometimes you gotta just give her a nice little whop.
it.
No, you motherfucking right. Sometimes you do. Oh, is that Sean Connery? Oh, that's Sean Connery.
That
My
might be
bad.
Sean Connery.
He said that on TV. Was it Barbara Walters?
Mm.
She was like, you just hit her? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, Barbara Walters was what's that nigga Vlad before Vlad, nigga.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was,
Real talk.
she
She'd get your ass locked up,
She
nigga.
get your ass canceled real quick before we knew what canceled was.
I mean, you smacked her? Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, nigga, I smacked the shit out of her.
Surprise.
He's like, just the backhand. What that nigga say? A light tap. Pop. I was like, nigga, that don't sound like a light tap. Sound like you trying to make a popping sound. But yeah, man, Moby Dick. At a time on the east side, the real east side, which is Stone Mountain, Lithonia, Decatur. You know what I'm saying?
Is there another east side? Is there a fake east side?
I mean, you know them small little niggas, but you know
What's the fake
I'm
east
talking
side?
about big east side, not little east side.
The real East Side.
No, I'm not talking about East Atlanta. I'm talking about East Side.
Right.
Come on now,
Right,
East
right,
Side.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
It
That's it.
stands alone by itself. It don't need a city to go behind
Right.
it. It's just East Side.
That's a vague term, nigga.
Hey man, East Side.
Vague
Now
as
leave out of
hell.
town, niggas be like, "You from the East Side?" Why?
This the east side of this room over here, nigga. You talking about over there
Nigga,
too?
the sun don't rise on that side; it rises on that side.
I don't know that.
I'm
to be
just
true.
fucking with you. I just had to throw you a curveball. I don't know
But,
either.
but I want to know what the small east side is. As a guy from Chicago who doesn't know,
East Atlanta?
yeah, he said big east side. So what's the small east side?
East Atlanta?
It's small.
Oh,
He
what
ain't
do you
talking
mean?
about
It's
Atlanta.
literally small. Is what I'm saying.
Oh,
He
okay.
talking about Metro Atlanta.
Oh, okay. But you
I'm
talking
talking
about
about
Stone
Big
Mountain, the Lithonia.
Stone
Yeah.
Mountain,
So that's-
Decatur mainly.
Oh, okay.
Outside of Atlanta.
Okay,
That's-
okay.
Right. Call it what you want to. We our own thing. We East Side. We don't need y'all
Bruh,
validation.
nigga, don't
That's
have
what
me.
you see. Atlanta niggas from Atlanta be thinking that we need validation. We don't need y'all validation. We made history all on our own. You know what I'm saying?
Where
Martin
the,
Luther King came to Decatur for a reason. He left Atlanta and came to Decatur for a reason.
where's
I'm
the
just
big
saying.
rude button?
Where the big room button
Yeah,
at?
man. Look, that nigga just snapped on me.
What's the West Catering buddy? The West Catering buddy.
I don't know, but that nigga Big Rube just snapped on me the other day.
Oh, what you do? You said that you was from the West Side.
No.
And you technically from the East Side of the West Side, nigga.
Look, ain't nobody saying shit about, me being from the West Side. That's impossible. But we was talking about Bubba Sparks, and the post was about Bubba Sparks, and I had misquoted the song that he was in, and Big Rube got in there on my ass. He didn't reply to nobody else.
He said, "Is that nigga from the podcast?"
He been waiting. That nigga been waiting. I'm like, nigga, I was your ally in this bitch.
Hey man, I don't give a fuck what Big Rube say. We love your ass. I don't give a fuck, nigga. You can be as mad as you want to, nigga. I still love you, nigga.
Facts.
You can't block this love, Eastside.
Facts.
Come on now. While I drove you back to the East Side after that show, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Let's get into some shit, man.
Right.
I was watching Ricky Lake.
Why?
I guess this would be part of my sticks and seeds.
Why?
Because, in the world of pop the balloon challenges, YouTube be like, try this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They do suggest a lot of shit.
Yeah. And I was like, it was Ricky Lake. It was, I be doing a lot of tasks at home, so I just need background.
Background noise.
Something that's not too interesting where I stop my task, but interesting enough where I can listen to it in the background.
No, it don't take much for me to stop my task.
Oh no! See, I don't need any breaks or any intervals or
I'll
anything.
sit down in a minute. Was that snowflakes going across the screen? Let me sit down and see snowflakes.
That's 95% of America.
But the last show we was talking about the pop the balloon challenge and the stupid shit motherfuckers say and women being extra choosy, man. If you watch Ricky Lake from the 90s,
okay,
there was one episode I watched last night. It was called. I only watched about 3 or 4 episodes, but I just wanted to get the.
That was too many. Go ahead.
But I've seen a lot of stuff.
Okay.
First of all, like I was telling BDot, it was one where it's like, oh, I'm sleeping. Your man is cheating on you, and it's with me, right? One lady in particular, she's like, yo, I'm just letting you know I'm sleeping with your man, and I just brought you up here to tell you I'm sleeping with your man, which sounds weird, like, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The other lady, like, okay, as long as he pay these bills and take care of these kids, why do I give a fuck?
Right.
And she's like, oh, because I'm just letting you know that he ain't just yours. And she's like, these bills is paid, though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Ricky jumps in. It's like the start of this, oh, no, don't let him get away with it era.
Oh,
like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
She's like, well, you don't look like you're mad. It looks like you should be a little bit madder than that. And everybody like, yeah, Ricky, she should be angry. But then the bitches in the audience stand up and they like, hey, you know what, man, gonna cheat as long as he's taking care of his house and he's taking care of. I'm like, where did all these grandmas go?
Those were
Like,
simpler times.
those were some great times, nigga. And the niggas sitting up here, these niggas are dressed like they just walked out of the house. Niggas is wrinkled, no name brand clothes.
I told that nigga, bro, like, the times was different, bro.
It was a time when niggas had their priorities in order, I feel like.
Right.
You think so?
No, he just
you
stole
know-
my comment, man.
Oh.
I said that, man.
Well, you didn't say it quick enough.
God damn. This nigga's stealing content.
But I thought that also, it is a time where they had that priority. Because when you hear them talking, you know what I'm saying? And then they're talking proper. You like, come on.
What is talking proper?
Speaking the English dialect in the way that it was meant to be spoken.
How was it meant to be spoken? Like white folk?
Pronouncing every letter the same way you would do it any other language.
It's a grafted language.
Okay. Do it have letters that are enunciated to make words?
It has long words from over 8 different languages. So how do you pronounce the words?
BDot came in here and he said, I'm going to be Johnny Cochran today against whatever you say. If the glove don't fit, you must quit.
I did a deep dive into the origins of Spanish. And that's how that's why my brain is kind of on this dumb shit. But
the origins of Spanish?
Yeah.
Latin, right?
It was called it was called something Latin. But it's like 8 different Latins though. Or dialects. 8 different dialects. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I mean, it's not. Come to America. We got
No, because you know.
You know, the first time somebody told me, "Hey, yo, y'all got pop?" I said, "What is that?" Pop. Pop. Y'all got pop? I'm like, pop, nigga. What the fuck is a pop, nigga?
Yeah.
Oh, soda pop.
That's not the same though, bro.
Like,
Because
nigga.
it's like you got people over in maybe South America. They can't communicate with some people in Mexico, even though they're speaking
But
Latin.
can they? But can't they? I was thinking about that shit the other day. I was thinking about the Tower of Babel and how God changed all the languages. I tell you, man, when you smoking hash all week, I was thinking about how God changed all the languages, right? And now, where are we? I can read a comment from a nigga that posted in Russian, and all I have to do is press translate.
Mm-hmm.
I can send a message to anybody right now, and we can have a full-on conversation. All we got to do at the end of what we type is press translate.
Right.
You won't communicate it the way you would like to, though.
But let me ask y'all questions. We going down this rabbit hole.
Stupid rabbit hole.
It's not a stupid rabbit hole. I was getting at the point: if God changed everybody's languages, do you think that he's like, these motherfuckers are communicating?
Did he change it though? But
that was my question.
Did he change?
My question was
that would
how
be
to
something that somebody who would want it, who wouldn't want all of us to communicate to do greater things would do. They would break up the languages so we all can't communicate. Why would God do that when He wants us all to be together and brother sister and build a better world?
You know why?
I'm just asking.
He said, "Nigga, y'all niggas are trying to do what I'm trying to do." Oh no, and I don't want to go down that type of wormhole. But in that section, he says they're trying to do what we're trying to do.
But love,
they can't live forever no more.
I told
100 years cut off.
I told this nigga in the car, the Bible is not the law. So why do you keep using it as a reference point?
And what was my response?
What was it?
Most people in the United States.
Fuck out of here, man. Like, no, you
The
didn't.
first thing I said was most people are Christians. And he was like, well, the biggest religion in the world is Islam. Well, we're in the United States. BDot likes to take, he's like, you gave me a little bit.
And then what I say? Anybody can say
he's saying in practice, they're not real Christians.
I didn't say in practice.
But
I said anybody can say
it.
Whatever they want to be.
So that's basically
how do you prove that someone is a Christian?
Right.
You can't do it.
We all can say we're Christians.
When was there ever a test?
It
Do you
wasn't.
think Jesus would be like, hold up, nigga? Did you take the test?
He should.
He should.
I'm speaking in general.
You're right. He
because
should.
if he knew how religion was used to control people and control people's every movement and everyday life, he probably would want to give a test to the people.
You saying if he knew this is Jesus, he's supposed to already know shit like that.
Yeah, we say that, but
I of myself to do
no,
that.
but that's who do you think Jesus is? In Islam,
to me, he's a prophet.
Right. So he's not the all-seeing, all-knowing.
He's not
but
the
in
main.
In Christianity, he is. So who
you know what they did though? They made Jesus the all-seeing, but isn't Jesus the Son of God?
Yeah, they saying God is his own son.
He the all-seeing Junior.
No, okay.
They saying God.
hope
They
that
saying
don't get
that
us,
Jesus
kicked
is not a separate person. God
They're
was
the
like,
same.
I gotta come down there. Let me choose a body.
Okay, they the
this
same.
one. And
I'm
they
choosing
came down.
Mary, and this is it.
Yeah,
So he birthed himself. He
came out of Mary.
okay.
And started talking.
Pause.
Mary ain't teach him shit.
Right.
Because, I mean, we got to be sensible. What they're trying to say is Mary ain't teach him shit.
Right. He already knew.
He knew how to talk. He said,
Right.
all right, titty.
Right.
Like, it's like, yo.
It didn't say nothing about him being
I just think
breastfed, though.
I think the whole religion loses people when you have so many different religions and you have so many different sayings and people pull out this part and that part for their own personal gain, and then you know what I'm saying, that then you try to figure out what's the best way to live or the right way to live, but you got all these different interpretations, and most of them are not right.
Well, it's not even the interpretations. The Bible contradicts itself a lot.
Right, but I'm talking about, forget the Bible part that's written, the written part of the Bible and all that. We're talking about the people who call themselves translating and teaching us the Bible, are teaching us so many different ways and so many different parts and how and saying this way and twisting that it becomes convoluted, and then people just give up and don't want to be bothered with it at all.
Yeah, because it also I thought about this too. Don't make me seem handicapped. I thought about this too. You know, they say God is not the author of confusion. And I think about it as a parent. If I say, I want this done, this done, this done. And then I hear motherfuckers arguing. Like, nah, he said this. Nah, he said that. Nah, he said this. What am I going to do?
No, you going to know that you are not God in that moment.
He's going to straighten it out.
I love BDot's answers today. He came fully loaded.
I ain't been on here in a while.
That is not what I'm gonna do, nigga. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna straighten this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Because what are we? Aren't we the children of God? Well, we don't want confusion. If anybody says something and they see that there's confusion over what they said, the person that sits back and watches, isn't that kind of devious? It's like, look at them arguing. I'm gonna just let them argue.
But at the end of the day,
they don't know.
That don't mean what was said was confusing. Just take me coming in here off the bat. I don't know shit about hash key. I mean, I do limited information, but I can support an argument. Niggas, this is America.
That wasn't a good
niggas
argument,
can. Yeah, it was. Niggas. I'm just saying, niggas can argue anything. Even if it's clear as day.
Oh yeah, that's true. But it doesn't mean that you have an argument. You know what I looked up today? I mean, I looked this up last night, man. I be going down. All I do is question myself all day long. And if you look at my Google, it's just fucking questions. What about this? What about this? I looked up, because I took this in psychology and I started forgetting some of them, the 11 types of fallacies. Because when you study 11 types of fallacies, people think they're making arguments. But you can see right through their argument. You know what I'm saying? The ad hominem, the red herring, the straw man,
and he said the ad hominem. Okay, my brother.
Yeah,
right.
But that's when I listen to people. That's when I start hearing. I start hearing the fallacies, what they use, how they're using. You know what I'm saying? Some people just attack the person.
Right.
I think that's the ad hominem. The straw man is you attack an issue that's not even about this issue, but you know what I'm saying? You're trying to win an argument. All you're trying to do is persuade the people outside of the argument as to who is basically the victor. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And man, with news and politics, it is nothing but fallacies.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what the root word of fallacy is, right?
Phallus. Penis. No, I'm just playing. I was about to say, where are we going with this? Men are liars? I don't know.
That was we all getting fucked and screwed.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah.
You stole my thunder, though. So, I didn't know you knew what phallus was. A lot of people don't know.
My name is Wiz, man. All I do is question myself all day.
Man,
I look up a lot of stuff.
You said you question yourself all day, too.
Yeah.
That means you cosplaying as a application, nigga, a job application.
But can phallus be? We're fucking ourselves all day because isn't phallus technically soft? Isn't that soft? The soft part?
No.
Yes.
No. A phallus is just a penis.
But it's soft.
It's the softer penis.
Yes.
The softer side of the
Oh, I didn't know that. Y'all put me on to some new shit.
I don't know.
I didn't know that.
Y'all telling me some new shit.
No, I didn't know that. I just
mean, because when they say the obelisk and you know them things is made of cement. You feel me? They don't make that shit droopy. They make that shit standing straight up.
Pause.
Hey man, come on now. We talking about landmarks right now. They don't make it droopy. They make it standing straight up.
Pause.
It's supposed to symbolize a ding-a-ling.
Pineapples, man. This is good.
Ancient Egyptian. I wonder whose dick that was supposed to be. Is that the pharaoh's dick? He's like, hey, nah, a little bit taller, a little bit bigger, wider at the base. This looks nothing like what I drew. Well, that's crazy, though, ain't it? They like put a point at the top. Mine is weird.
You want that uncircumcised part, King?
No, take that part out.
Make it
It looks
smooth.
weird. Yes, make it smooth all the way down. God dang. All right, man. We gotta talk about black people shit right now.
Oh, before you, because I know that's gonna be you about to talk about.
Come on, you already
today.
know. We came here unprepared. We need to stop, get backwards and everything. No go.
Yeah.
Ain't no black-owned stores over here.
We ain't fooling with them. So before we get into that, I just wanted to drop my, fact of the day that a lot of people possibly don't know. So, man, y'all may not know, whoever's watching this shit. I grew up in NCOBRA, National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America. So, we've been fighting for reparations, for a very long time, way before I even, came on the scene. And, one of the things that I guess some people don't know is that every major financial institution in America was started on a plantation.
Yep.
Most definitely.
So, just that portion of it, even as it applies to capitalism, that created the wealth in this country. And so the whole thing about reparations, the last thing I wanted to say was that back right after the emancipation, I believe, we had the Freedmen's Bank. Everybody know about the Freedmen's Bureau, the government organization that was set up to help free black people transition into becoming, I guess, regular citizens.
During the Reconstruction, right?
But so during Reconstruction, we had a bank called the Freedmen's Bank.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point in time, black people had $3.7 million in that bank. The bank went up.
Mm-hmm.
The bank went belly up. The banks were misusing the money, spending on whatever the fuck they wanted to. The government, which was supposed to oversee everything, didn't give a shit about it. So the bank flopped. And, black people during Reconstruction, nigga, just the 1870s lost 3.7 million. In 2025, that is the equivalent of $80 million. That's crazy. You know what I mean? And so when we talk about reparations, nigga.
It goes, the line is, slavery.
And that's just one example, nigga. That's
Slavery
one
is the
example.
start of reparations. Yeah, Jesus Christ. That's something that people don't really talk about, is that not even the pay that we didn't get as slaves, but the stuff you stole. The stuff that was taken by the government. You know what I'm saying? And people be like, oh, how are we going to pay this? You took $80 million. What you mean, how are you going to pay it back?
Right.
You took it. We say that to everybody else. If a poor person took $80 million, they wouldn't be like, oh, you're poor, we know you'll never come up with this. They're going to be like, nigga, jail.
Yeah.
You have to pay somehow. Right?
But they made that so that they made laws and stuff so it wouldn't be a way that we as black ancestors, our ancestors couldn't sue or do anything about it. I mean, what bothers me the most, and we talk about Freedmen's Bank, we talk about Reconstruction, is that we are in 2025, and black folks nowadays act like it's not important no more. It's not important to remember it. I mean, I literally see, and I'm really pissed off about it, and I really am going to post about it and say something about it.
I can't be friends with somebody like that.
I literally saw a black guy say racism don't exist. Black folks are racist. Black folks are the ones who keep racism going because it don't exist because we hate ourselves. But he looks like a usual suspect. So you get what I'm saying? Like, you're sitting here saying these things, and of course, all the white folks in the comments gonna be like, "Yeah, right, brother, say that." Of course, you're doing this.
You still ain't invited to their.
But you're not invited to the party, and you're going to be a usual suspect. You get what I'm saying? Like, you got the dreads. Not saying that that's right, but you get what I'm saying. That's how they see you.
No, I know what you're saying.
They're not gonna stop and say, "Oh, he's the one on social media saying that racist. Let him go." And I don't understand why black folks don't understand this premise that we don't want to say that this is racist or that's racist, or try to be living or modeling, wallowing in racism. But it's a fact of life. It's a fact. It's not something that's being made up. And when you have black folks on social media grifting and saying, "Oh, this is that," that don't exist, and we need to get it together, and all this other stuff, it really diminishes the fact that it still exists. It's still a problem, and we are not going to get past it if we all don't come together and figure out a way to work together to move forward. And there's so many grifters on social media now. There's so many black folks who just tap dance and then they say, well, and I'm not saying any political party,
out of mind, love.
Any political party is greater than the other. Don't get me wrong, because they both done us wrong
Full
as
of
black
shit,
folks,
yeah.
and they both are full of shit when it comes down to us. But at the same time, when I look at things when it comes to political parties, I always look at who the racists support, who the white supremacists support, who the white nationalists support. And I'm going to say, if they support this one, I'm going to go against that one. But you have people who looking over that. They like, it don't matter. It is what it is. And I just can't do that. Because if I see Wiz or BDot walking down the street and some white nationalists coming up trying to jump on them, we all fight.
Oh yeah, we
all fighting. I don't give a fuck what's going on. We all fight. And that's the way I think we all need to be. But we got so many people that just not with this system and not with, bringing our people forward, that the reparations part is going to be the hardest part. Because you got people that can point back to that and say, well, that don't exist. Y'all need to worry about that. But they don't realize that they started at we're trying to get to the finish line, and they already at the finish line. Yeah. That's how their ancestors set it up, so they could be at the finish line the whole time. That's why they're so scared to lose their power.
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind. That's how I feel about it. Because, all of these people coming to Atlanta, what's one of the main things they say? Oh, man, I ain't never seen a black mayor or a black city council, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And what that does to black people.
Right.
It empowers you to an extent, and it makes you feel like, oh, I can become the mayor. But if we had never seen that, that wouldn't be a reality for us to strive after. So when integration hit, people don't know, that was the nastiest shit they could have did to us. Mm-hmm. It killed the whole black
but it was meant
economy.
To. It was meant to.
But I'm saying, you grow up before integration, you grew up seeing a black doctor, a black lawyer, mm-hmm. a black mayor, a black supermarket, a mm-hmm. black movie theater, a black Foot Locker. After integration, you don't see it ever again.
And that was the purpose.
But what also happened around this time? COINTELPRO. Mm-hmm. They took away all of our political prisoners. I mean, mm-hmm. They made all of our leaders political prisoners. Right. Or they killed them. Mm-hmm. Fred Hampton, Malcolm, everybody.
They really got out of Fred Hampton when he started saying, you know what, poor white folks, y'all need to join out. We in the same thing. And white folks are like, you know what, you're right. They definitely don't want that going on.
But what happened, how do we lose all of these leaders at one time, like in one, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What does that do to us? To the movement?
Right, it does a lot to the movement.
You cut the head of the snake off.
Right, the tail going to wither away.
Right. So I just think part of it is out of sight, out of mind, because a lot of our people don't do their history and know, what our communities were like before integration. But also think, what was the last point I was about to make? Fuck it. I've been smoking too much.
I was gonna say, for a person like me who lived.
My eyes.
I guarantee I forget what I'm gonna say after BDot say it. Go ahead.
I know you are.
Cause I'm high too. Shit.
Damn, lad. What you? Oh yeah, I think because a lot of people don't know how we got here. Mm-hmm. In the condition that we're in.
Right.
I think people don't make the connection. We talk about crack cocaine and how that was used to fund the war and what that did to black people. Mm-hmm. Crack destroyed us.
But it destroyed us to the point of prison time for
mass incarceration.
But
that's just one thing. That's one thing. Like, what about everything else? You know what I'm saying?
100 years before that even happened.
Right. So you're not making the connection as far as how we got here. for you to even feel a certain way about, oh, we passed this shit or whatever, yada yada yada.
It's no such thing. If we're still passing laws for other people, then there's no such thing as we're past reparations. If y'all can't, if you gotta pass
past racism.
Yeah,
people saying we're post racism.
If you have an Asian hate bill, then that means there's racism.
Right.
If there's bills that protect Jews, that means that there's fucking racism. Anti-Semitism is fucking racism.
The problem that we have as black folks, we don't have any leaders that are younger. They need to be a little bit younger. Be a little bit more aggressive
and not play basketball or rap or
right.
sing.
No, but that's what happened.
They need to be a little bit more aggressive. No offense to Al Sharpton and all that, but they need to cut off and go and retire and sit back. We need a more aggressive. We need more aggressive leaders that are going to be straightforward. Because I'm gonna give you why we have Asian hate bills and Jewish hate bills, because they have younger, aggressive folks on their team that are pushing their agenda forward, and we do not have that. Every time somebody wants to talk about black folks and the black plight in the black community, they go and talk to a rapper, a football player, a basketball player, and those people, unfortunately, they came from the community, but they're not within the thick of the community. They're not trying to figure out how mama gonna get to work.
But don't you think also that it's their responsibility to point them to the actual black leaders of the community?
Yeah, but
instead of answering that question,
they should.
I mean, we still have some leaders, and then the other.
But then
thing
they get to thinking
about
if they start pointing. I don't mean to cut you off with. They start thinking about if they start pointing them in the right direction to the right leaders, that them checks gonna get diminished.
But then the other thing I think about is that all the leaders in the past were in their 20s. They were elders,
right?
When they ended, they was in their 30s, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them kept going though.
Most of them was ended. But Malcolm X, Martin Luther King.
Yeah, but Fred Hampton was 21.
21. Yeah.
Huey Newton was.
He was older.
He was a little bit
but
older.
He was
40s maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like 43 when he died, right?
Yeah. No, I think it was like 37.
That's what I'm saying.
But even that's young.
Both of them got killed in their 30s.
But even to today's thing, that's still an elder if you think about these younger kids that come up now. So what I'm saying is now you can have a 30-year-old or 25 or 37-year-old leading the movement forward, and you got to cut the 70 and 80-year-olds off because unfortunately they don't understand what it takes to move forward from this point forward. You get what I'm saying? Like, even me, I'm 54. I wouldn't say that I would be a leader because I don't know how to talk to these young kids and get them to move forward.
The
and
elders
understand that things are what they need to do to get it there.
The elders always play an important role in the leadership. Always have, going all the way back to Africa. My thing is, I remember when I was like every day in Cobra, Malcolm X grassroots movement, when I was fully immersed in it, every day we're doing something. I used to always tell my elders, the rappers are the new leaders. You know what I mean? Not that I'm saying anything revolutionary or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, like, niggas is just blowing it off. Oh, that ain't shit. But if you think about it, what does leader mean? You know what I'm saying? So, and for all intents and purposes, rappers are the new leaders of our community. Where they're leading us to, mostly is fucked up.
Right.
You wanna know what's
but you can't deny that. I think hip hop just got co-opted. Like every other major movement. Marcus Garvey, his movement. Nation of Islam, any Pan-African.
Everybody knows that divide and conquer is how you get shit done. I was watching a post with Jadakiss on it. It was Jadakiss and a nigga from the Bronx. I cannot remember this nigga. Shout out to the Bronx too. But Jadakiss was like, yo man, only in hip hop you got trap, you got fucking hip hop, you got boom bap, you got you know what I'm saying, backpack music.
I
he's
see
like
that
only
too.
Hip hop. He's like ain't no fucking trap country.
Right.
He's like ain't no fucking. It's like it's just fucking country music. It's just fucking R&B.
Right.
It's just fucking bluegrass. It's just fucking whatever the fuck it is. He's
Right.
like, but that brings sense to it. Like even with hip hop, because it's the most popular genre, they trying to break that shit the fuck up. Like, you know what I'm saying? And part of me doesn't have a problem with a rapper being a leader, but there's a certain type of rapper that
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Not a nigga that's rapping about.
But look at what's happening in our community.
Thinker is what I'm.
Look at what's happening in our community. It's a reflection of what you hear on the radio, mixtapes, everything else.
And the radio.
A nigga sliding, somebody moving his dope, somebody buying some new jewelry, somebody trying to be an all designer all day, somebody trying to push the fanciest car. You know what I mean? That's what's happening. So are they not being influenced? You said what?
All that spending power. How do you render a man useless? You find out what his
Was
power
Willie
is,
Lynch was Willie Lynch one of the greatest fucking prophets ever, nigga?
Yeah.
Willie Lynch, and that nigga didn't even exist, nigga.
Right.
Yeah.
The problem that we have is, and our older leaders should, when somebody said rappers are the new leaders, somebody should have took them by the hand and showed them how to live properly.
I still don't hear people saying that. That's just me personally.
Yeah. I now in the beginning, early '80s when rap started becoming prominent, and you had like X Clan and all those guys. That's when the hand should have been taken and say, dude, you need to lead our people forward, because anybody that can get the camera on them, can get the people in the stadium, can get the people looking at them and watching what they're doing, can be the leader. You got to be able to get people to see you and hear you in order to lead your people properly. Yeah. I mean, we got this, but at the same time, we don't have millions of people looking at us at one time or on our social media. And these guys need to realize that even if they don't want to be that person, too late, homie. You got to take it. And you got to deal with it.
Do you think leaders choose to be leaders, or do you think people choose leaders, or leaders choose themselves?
I think
both.
Both. Yeah, I think it's a mixture of both.
Which one do you think is the vast majority?
I think people choose.
People choose leaders. Yeah, that's how I feel too.
I think people choose leaders. The problem that we have today is so many people are so caught up in their money and their lifestyle that they don't want to sacrifice that. And unfortunately, leading a people out of squalor, muck, and depression, you have to sacrifice. Revolution is sacrifice. You have to sacrifice in revolution. There's just no way around that. Revolution is sacrifice. There's no way around that. And if these guys don't want to give up whatever they have, their lifestyle, to lead the people in revolution, then we don't need them. And we got to be, as their consumers, we got to let them know, hey, I don't want to buy your album. I don't want to stream your record. If you're not going to do anything positive to move us forward and to help our children, why should I even bother with you? You can have your $800 million and your $500,000 car. Cool, that's on you, but not from my dollars. And that's where we need to be at.
But we aren't the biggest consumers. Like, we're more influenced by it than anybody. We're the influence, but we aren't the biggest consumers. So,
but that's even better. We're not the biggest, but we're
not the biggest consumers.
Not of rap music, we're not.
Oh yeah, not of rap music. No.
But that's great, because these rappers can give the people who need to know the message.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard to change what you rap about. I mean, most people don't want to rap about the hood in that light. I mean, I'm still trying to put a song together that's just a song. That's not talking about...
You could rap about the hood in life. You know who did a great job of it? Ice Cube, when he did Just Waking Up, you know what I'm saying, in the morning, trying to thank God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a prolific song.
Yeah.
If you listen to it and sit back and think about it, it applies
but
today.
That's what I'm saying, man. When you live in the hood, it's not just about right. Man, it's been plenty of times, like BDot said, me and Ron, we used to be on, you know what I'm saying, glued up. You know what I'm saying? We out here, you know what I'm saying? We doing all that crazy shit. You feel me?
Right.
But at the same time, that's not what it's all fucking about, nigga. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
but
like,
you got now at this point. I grew up partially in St. Louis, Wabata Street, Lotus Street, off Martin Luther King in the middle of the hood. And I lived on a street called Wabata. And so essentially I was a Wabata Crip. Because you don't have a choice, nigga. You know what I mean? But when I got into it at 12 years old, nobody taught me the history. I didn't learn the history, you know. I didn't know why this was started. It's all revolutionary. Even the name, Crip. Even the name is revolutionary. So I know all these generations coming after me, the majority of these people aren't learning the history, the knowledge. They don't know why this shit started. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so where's the honor in that? You know what I'm saying? You don't even know that these gangs was created to protect your neighborhood from white terrorism. Yeah. That's important to know.
And they don't know that. They don't. See, what happens, what our main problem is, and I say it might be our fault. We don't teach them. We don't, and they probably don't want to know, but we got to figure out a way to get them the information to where they can, digest it properly. If we don't give them the information and they don't know, I guess we can't complain about them not knowing. Am I right or wrong?
No, because nobody teach me.
Nobody taught me either. Don't get me wrong. Nobody taught me. No, hold on. I'm lying. My great-grandmother, who couldn't read, taught me the pleasure of reading because she used to make me read for 2 hours a day, every day, right at 7 o'clock. And in Chicago, 7 o'clock is when all the good shows come on.
Come on now. I'm about to take up with your grandma. Dude.
Right. Yeah. And she would cut the TV out. She had all these books. This is when Encyclopedia and Britannica, she had all these books. Like, and she couldn't read a lick. She could add and stuff, but she couldn't really read very well. She used to make me read for 2 hours a day, every day.
Right. She said, I need to listen to my stories.
Right. Pretty much.
She been that shit to the heart. Right. I know I want to hear my stories. You be like, okay, grandma. No, nigga, you gonna read them stories to me. That's some cold shit right there. I like that.
Then nobody teach me though.
Rika said, Slick Wiz, we met so many people from Anniston with nothing good to say about the area.
I mean, it's also about what
says it all, right?
It's also about what everybody puts into the area, and also about what the city puts into certain areas. Okay. Because then you got Oxford right next to it, and I bet people from Oxford got a lot of good stuff to say. And they're literally like seconds apart from each other.
Did the people in Anniston or Oxford or Fort McClellan, where I did my basic training, did the black people in them 3 small ass towns spend money today? Because
I guarantee you they did.
We pump fake today. I think it was a pump fake.
So, man, I probably go ahead, Wiz.
I was saying that one day is not enough.
It's not. You know why? The reason why it's not enough because we're too spread out. You have to have concentrated efforts. You got to have local efforts. You got to have somebody in California. Atlanta. You got to have somebody in New York for those local stores, those local Targets and Walmarts, and say, hey, today in Douglasville, we're not going to Target and Walmart. And then somebody in Atlanta be like, hey, today in Atlanta, you have to have a concentrated local effort. That's why the bus boycott was so successful, because it was local and they already had a plan.
But how do we get there?
How do we get that?
No, how do we get there?
How do we get to that? To
what you was just saying?
Communication with each other.
I was saying.
So what? But what has to happen first?
We have to have a leader to understand what we need to do. A plan.
And then what else?
I'm not. Tell me, because I'm missing it.
Where do we start?
Where do we start?
Back then, where do we start?
No. Right now, where do we start? Local. Because if I'm not playing devil's advocate.
No, I know you're not. I know what you're trying to come up with a plan.
If you got, not even a perfect storm, but if you got to have these conditions met, we got to do this, we got to do that. How do we even get to that point without starting first? You know what I mean? Because once we get to that level of trying to select who gonna do this, who gonna do that, that's when it's gonna get crazy.
All right.
You know, because niggas gonna be niggas. So where do we start? Because I think if we're waiting to get to that point for everybody to not even everybody, just the amount of people we need to agree on this, that, and the third, I think that at that point you got a greater chance of that getting chaotic.
Okay.
Versus starting, because I didn't agree with it.
Right.
I don't fuck with Al Sharpton.
Right.
But my man, he said, bro, he one of the most revolutionary niggas I know. The nigga said, bro, we got to start somewhere.
And I agree. We do have to start. I'm not saying that today wasn't a start.
Right.
But my point is, okay, we started today. We got it started today. But we do have to concentrate it locally so they can have more of a impact in the local tax bracket, in the local community, in the local. You got to, because a nationwide thing is great.
Yeah, that would be.
But the local economy has to feel it too, so they understand that, hey, black folks in Atlanta ain't playing.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You gotta.
Just in case everybody else across the nation isn't on their shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I agree.
It's not that we did it in vain.
Right. You're not gonna have Montana and South Dakota, North Dakota depend on that. They're not going to contribute.
Participate.
We gotta know that certain areas are not going to participate. But we got New York, we got the Atlanta, we got the California, we got Florida, Illinois. We got to have those areas that we know the population. We know what the black population is, and we got to concentrate on those areas.
And
We definitely got to organize.
You know, another thing is
better
part
than we
that
did.
saying start somewhere, because even with that, even I started getting ideas. See, this is my idea. Like I said, multiple days. We could boycott a different company every day. All year long.
Right, because they're all and the DEI thing is irrelevant to me.
No. This is way bigger than that.
I didn't know anything about DEI till the white folks started saying something about it, because technically
I didn't either.
Technically, it didn't affect me because we still got discriminated on with jobs based on hair.
Yeah.
Based on the name on the resume.
And they're not going to say it, so it's not like we can...
So those things there, it didn't really matter to us, because I swear, I never heard anything about DUI until they started complaining about it.
Right.
This wasn't something that was, I was going, oh yeah, DUI going to get us jobs. Nobody was saying that. Nobody...
I thought it was, I'm like, is this the new affirmative action or something? But it's not.
It's not. It really, that did not really affect us, because we were not given jobs on other premises. So for us to get all up in arms about that really is a waste of time. We have so many other things that they're going to get rid of, like the Board of Education. I mean, I know a lot of people say the Department of Education sucks anyway. Great. But when they get rid of it, they give all these white folks vouchers, and your school ain't got books, then you're going to have a problem. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? People got to realize there's a bigger picture to this stuff. When they start saying, well, we need to get rid of this in the Department of Justice, then you're going to get rid of the civil rights thing. And when you start giving the police immunity, then they're going to be able to beat you and kill you, unalive you at will. We got to think bigger than, this president's doing great things.
I think this thing going to be, because we definitely need to organize better. We already got the examples, just, like you were saying. But we also gotta come with creative new ideas, because we can't use the same means and methods that our parents did. Right. It's a new time. It's a new enemy. Yeah, I'm not a new enemy, but it's a new system that we got to deal with, different from their experience. So, but I'm just saying. So I think this gets us closer to, implementing new ideas and learning from our mistakes and how to organize better. I think this puts us on the path to get there at some point.
BDot was saying in the car that he was disappointed that people weren't posting it all on.
No, I was disappointed, and I don't give a fuck. These niggas ain't listening to me nowhere. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, but the ugly money niggas, the ATL top 20 niggas, the One Love One Mic niggas, you know what I mean? I'm calling their name out because we all got to play our role. You know what I mean? And no, they didn't post shit, and that made me feel a certain way, because I post dumb shit too, like everybody else. Right. To get my shit up. Right. But I try to balance it out with meaningful posts that actually mean something. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, they're not gonna do that because, again, we're talking about money. We're talking about checks. And unfortunately, when the checks get smaller because of something you say or do, it makes you rethink those things. No, like I said earlier, nobody wants to sacrifice in the everybody wants to have revolution, but everybody wants that. I'm saying I don't want to sacrifice. Wiz, you go ahead and sacrifice. I mean, Wiz, I don't want to sacrifice.
You know what else is?
You go ahead and sacrifice. You get what I'm saying?
The other thing is that back then everybody was self-made in a way that was a part. They were actual professionals. They had actual skills, actual trades. They were doctors, lawyers, plumbers.
But we were more of a unit though. If
but
your
you're
mom
an influencer, that's not a fucking skill.
right.
It's not a trade. What me and BDot are doing right now is shit. This is what I decided to do this because I do this regularly. You feel me? I talk shit regularly.
But if this is done properly,
oh yes,
it could be a message and get a message out to where people be like, you know what, we need to go to Uhaya and see what's going on. But the problem that we have is we got so much other white noise in the building. We got so much other, unnecessary noise that overshadows us because they do the mess, they do the pop the balloons, they do the all the crab stuff that the voices that need to be heard don't get heard. It takes us we got to scratch and fight harder to get to the top of the pile just to get 100 people to listen to us, where they get thousands of people listen to them in 15 minutes because they doing bullshit. And that's the problem that we have. We're so willing to listen to bullshit and get bullshit so much prevalence in our lives that the things that really matter to us and affect our everyday, we look right past.
People love it, and most conversations that get started with me is always about something negative. It's hard to just keep that shit out of you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because some of it is funny, but at the same time, I always think to myself like I'm a huge thinker. I overthink everything. I rethink situations, scenarios. Me and my brother. I'll tell you one time, me and Rob was picking flowers, and he was having a whole conversation with himself. And I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he was like, "Man, I'm just thinking up some scenarios."
Got to think up some stuff. You got to think out loud. That's why I have a book. I have 42 books that I write stuff down in and think of scenarios.
Yeah.
And I think about stuff all the time. I say, we talk about grace and mercy. And this is why I was on grace and mercy for so long. We talk about grace and mercy, how we want it, but we never want to give it. We never want to give anybody grace and mercy, but we always want it for ourselves. These are things I think about all the time. I think about this stuff all the time, and I write it down because it consumes me to the point to where I can't sleep sometimes because I need to figure this out. Slick says, that's why they're knocking down rappers quick one by one, just in case rappers try to be the leader.
Let's talk about Lil Baby.
Right.
Like the fucking First Amendment doesn't exist.
Right.
He shot a video in a neighborhood that allegedly is a rival neighborhood. And days later, a shootout happens. 2 kids die.
Unalive.
Peace and blessings. Unalive.
Most definitely peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings to them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this ain't about the kids.
But this ain't about the kids. And Atlanta police get on there and say, you know who you are, and we're seeking charges against you for what? Like the First Amendment doesn't exist. That's why I'm like, at this point, it's like, oh, y'all just trying to y'all reaching now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was in the neighborhood days before something happened.
That's like you going to a store in a neighborhood and something happened, and 2 days later, they be like, where's his car in front of that store?
If you never came to this neighborhood, it
right.
What?
Right.
What? Where was the no little baby sign?
Right. Right.
Like,
no little baby's loud.
At this point, it's like, okay, we didn't get who's the next person?
Right.
Like,
they just following their lead. Man, what's her name? What's the lawyer?
Fanny?
Yeah, so she made her whole, campaign and really her tenure in the Fulton County DA's office about stopping gangs. She made it seem like gangs was the #1
problem
in Atlanta.
Yeah.
She need to go to Chicago. And then
she just came from L.A.
But
so I don't know how she figured that was a problem.
She created this atmosphere.
Right, this narrative.
And now the police are just the henchmen of the DA's office.
Yeah. And you know how they do it in California.
They doubling down. They just
you had on a Steelers hat? Oh, you had in California, if you literally wear any type of
color
sports memorabilia,
you're in a gang.
You're in a gang, nigga.
Yeah.
And you will get charged. if they can make a connection.
Right.
Sometimes they don't even try to make a connection. They just be like, man, one time I got arrested. I had a blue do-rag on with the bandana things on. I had a chain on and I had weed. I got arrested in Marta. The lady was like, oh, he's a New York Crip. He sells weed for the New York Crips. I said, what? I said, who are the New York Crips?
Right.
I said, the whole state?
Right.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, it's New York Crips. I'm like, what?
Right.
Like, that quick.
Yeah.
She ain't asked no questions. She said he got a New York chain on and a blue do-rag, and he got weed on him. He sell weed for the New York Crips. Straight up. I'm a police officer. So, like, when I seen that post, what I wrote was what it was. Lazy police work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lazy.
Yeah.
You don't want to do the extra hours and do the actual research.
Right.
Sit at a desk, ask questions, make phone calls. You just want to be like, let's blame him.
Yeah.
Because that's how they do in Cali.
Right,
You feel me? That's that RICO law shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
They just create more animosity for themselves. Like, and you dividing the community at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Keeping the community divided is always, I think that's always the main goal.
But y'all remember the Blue Wave, and y'all remember, nigga, I was at West End Mall across the street. The fight broke out. You know what I mean? The fight died down. A nigga came back, bust in the air. Everybody ran. They went to the parking lot. They started shooting at each other. Everything kind of calmed back down. And it's a police officer sitting right here, right in front of me, just watching everything. Y'all remember the Blue Wave?
Oh, you talking about that 5 Points?
No, the Blue Wave with the Atlanta Police Department.
What year was that?
When, what's the guy name at Wendy's that guy?
Oh, yeah.
So when they ended up prosecuting those police officers, they stopped. A lot of them quit.
Yeah, a lot of
and then a lot of them, they weren't enforcing anything, and that was their way of protesting. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like niggas already not fucking with the police. You know what I mean? And now you come out shitting on this man. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
Right.
That just imply that this man is the reason that these 2 kids got killed.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't grown ass niggas.
But you know what? It's in the air
other.
now. So now, see, it doesn't take, in today's society of slowness and lack of memory, it doesn't take much to make, all you got to do is whisper it out there, and it's true. You know that, right? You know,
Right.
That's why our president says certain things,
Yeah.
whisper it out there, then it becomes fact.
Yeah.
It's because we don't,
Or at
do
least
research.
to a lot of segment of the people.
Right. We don't do research. We don't think about it. Most people gonna say, "Oh, he's a rapper. He's black. He's from that area. Yeah, he did it." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you got 30% of people saying he did it, the police, they won. That's it. Now people gonna be saying, "Well, we need to get him off the street." Then you add 2 children, innocent children, into that. That's a mixture for a guilty plea right there. Even if they don't get him convicted, if he pleads out, it's a win for them. So it doesn't take much to get it started. That's why he did a whole big old press conference about it. Because why you at the preliminary stage, to me, you ain't really got into the why, when's, how, and where's, or the nouns. You just, we got these folks. Let me go do a press conference and implicate this folks.
Right. But
Even if we don't know.
Yeah, what was that? Who did he implicate?
Lil Baby.
Oh, I'm sitting here thinking about Donald
Allegedly.
Trump. Yeah. I'm sorry.
But
He implicates everybody.
Yeah.
but my thing is, it's like, of course, you know, with my whole stance on rappers being the new leaders, not even the new leaders, not just the leaders now of our community. Shit. Damn, boy. It'll come back.
Well, I would say this, man.
It's the
way Lil Baby move, I don't follow.
That yeah. So
I'm glad I can keep on jogging your memory.
If you know, like I said, they're the new leaders to me, but nobody wants to accept rappers are the leaders, and if they're not doing anything positive in the community or moving our people forward, then why are they getting attacked at this, you know, extreme level? It seemed like to me all across the country, everybody getting hit with RICOs, like, you know what I mean? To me, it's the new COINTELPRO.
Mhm.
Like they was talking about hip hop police back in the day when Pac and Big was around.
Right.
They were saying hip hop police.
Right.
To me, 2025 COINTELPRO. You know what I mean? Because we got more leaders than anybody else, believe it or not, because we got more rappers than anybody else. You know what I mean? And if these people can just galvanize their neighborhood, he can galvanize his neighborhood, he can galvanize his city, he can, you know what I mean? We can organize better than anybody, you know what I mean? So that same thing with COINTELPRO, like we don't want to see that become an actual reality where these people are actually getting on some Black Panthers type shit, you know what I mean?
And with the amount of money some of these guys have, if they did get on that, the funding would be enormous.
Right.
I said way back in the day when people was talking about Bad Boy and Death Row and all those guys and Rockefeller, I said, well, why don't they all just come together and do their own distribution, eliminate the record labels all together? They all got different fans anyway.
Right.
They all can create their own music. Only thing they doing is building a press place for press their own albums and CDs and stuff and distribute it that way. They could Universal could be gone. All could be gone. I said, why don't they do that? They got enough money to do it. They got enough money to build their own press, their own whatever they need to do to get it started.
Right.
They distribute on their own labels and eliminate that middleman who takes 70 or 80% of their profits.
Right.
But they don't do that. I don't get why they didn't do that back then when they were stronger and more mighty. Then they could start putting out all the messages about Black prosperity that they wanted, but they didn't do it.
Right.
And that to me is, and the only person I think tried to do it was Jay-Z, but people hate on him so hard what he did with Tidal. That it didn't become a successful venture, because if you got Tidal and you got all the rappers putting their music out through Tidal as distribution,
I got rid of everything, and all I had was Tidal.
You get what I'm saying? And streaming, and this Black guy owns it, and we all cooperating that way, and none of these other places like Spotify and that are not making any money off of us.
Right.
That's a great thing. Then you can do that. Then you can do what you need to do in your neighborhoods and your communities to build a stronger economy for people within your community, for Black folks. But they.
We are complicit. We are. Nobody can explain that away. We are complicit. But Willie Lynch was real. You know, even though he wasn't real. But my thing is, it's like what happened during COINTELPRO? You wanted to stop a nigga like Tupac Shakur. You know, it's literally written on the document. You know, we're trying to stop the rise of a young nigga with this particular mindset that can galvanize Black people across this country. They said electrify. Right. You know what I mean? And so it's like, what happened? Like, you think
say
about
that one more time, though, BDot.
Electrify.
That's what was in the FBI files. That was the wording that they used.
Electrify.
Electrify.
But think about when the New York Panthers was getting into it with the Oakland Panthers. What was happening? The government was sending fucking mail to this nigga saying, "Nah, y'all ain't shit, yada yada yada, fuck y'all." So when Biggie and Pac was getting into it, I can imagine, you know what I mean, if Pac kind of falls in this category, you know what I mean, you sending some niggas over to Big, you got some niggas working undercover for you as his security, you know what I mean? Right. Somebody told me at one point, 2 or 3 of Tupac's people was CIA or Feds or some shit. So why wouldn't they do the same? Right. You know?
Right.
Just imagine working in Nicaragua in the 80s and now your assignment is just to fuck up some rappers.
Easy.
Some probably the easiest work they had to do. They probably retired off of that shit.
Yeah, but we got to get smarter. Hopefully the next generation will be a little bit smarter, a little bit more productive, a little bit more non-complacent, and understand that, unfortunately for us, we all we got, and we need to come together and move and be able to build something and move forward with it, because if not, we gonna, man, these folks is trying to do some things to us. We don't even know what the big picture is, but they trying to do something. It ain't just all for nothing. Getting rid of all these departments, getting rid of all this stuff, eliminating all these things, ain't for nothing. It's always for something. And we may not feel it. We may be celebrating it now, but 10 years down the line, we're gonna be feeling the pain of it.
Only thing's gonna take that long.
The pain of it, and that's the problem that we gonna feel the pain of it, and then we gonna start complaining about it. But when it was happening, everybody was cheering and clapping their hands. I don't know why anybody would want to get rid of the Department of Education, regardless of how bad they are.
Because they want a nation full of dummies. That's what Rockefeller said, right?
Right. Get rid of them.
Workers.
Yeah, of course.
Trump has has the richest man in the world in there. Mm-hmm. Who you don't know what his plans are in the future for his industries in the United States. And
they haven't thought about the big picture because he's already connecting all the satellites together through his Starlink company. He wants to get into the FAA and link that stuff up through the Starlink company. Do you know how much power you have if you could flip a switch and planes disappear off radars? Do you know how much power you have if you could flip a switch, no phones, no internet, nothing works?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, there's always, you get what I'm saying? How much power is that?
That's what I'm saying.
How much money
people
is
not
that?
realizing they when he buys Twitter, they be like, oh, he bought Twitter.
Right.
They not realizing he's not buying Twitter. He's buying power.
You're right.
It's a
He's
media
buying influence.
Yeah, it's a media
source,
basically. Not source, but a media exchange.
Right.
Basically.
Right.
He bought that because he wants to control it. He wants to see what everybody's saying.
Right.
That's why they say, oh, you can erase your tweets, but we still got them.
Right. He wants to see what you're doing. He wants to see what you're buying. He wants to see how you're buying it. He wants to look in your house and see what you're doing.
Yeah.
He wants to be able to lock your doors and tell you not to come out the house. It's a bigger picture.
People don't think that these people want to be God.
Right.
They're not. It's not about getting more money. It's about being God. It's about knowing about every single person and then just sitting there like and playing, just on top of the world.
And playing checkers with them.
Playing checkers, chess, or whatever.
Chess, yeah, just playing with them. Dominoes. You want to go outside today? Well, your garage door gonna come up and your car gonna start.
We got 15 minutes.
You get what I'm saying? Like, those are things.
Because BDot got to go in 15 minutes.
Okay. Slick says social media has put people too close, and that's a major fuck up.
Is it?
I think it made people too familiar.
Yeah.
Because people think they can come on your page.
It's just everybody lies. It makes you like everybody. Nobody's gonna just tell you the naked, ugly, truth. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They want to put a little bit of sauce on top just to make it seem like if they tell you the truth, they might lie about that. Like, you feel me? Like man, I've been homeless for 3 days and they got somewhere to live, but they like, nah, I gotta get me some money somehow. They put a GoFundMe up.
Right.
Or either side of the spectrum, they could be lying about the good and the bad.
Right. Yeah, I don't think social media should be the main source of information.
But you know, people are they're just so gullible, so you can persuasive. You know what I'm saying?
And while we're talking about controlling things, social media can control the flow of information by changing the algorithm and flip the switch on that.
Yeah, so nobody sees what
we talk about revolution and Black Power and moving Black people forward, and he can delete this video today. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's all about. That's why they were up there talking to him. You got the guy who controls information through social media. You got the guy who controls your buying power through Amazon. You got the guy who controls all the
richest nigga in the world,
internet, everything through that. So you call that a conglomerate of people shutting down the world and telling you to pay them for it.
And I say we should boycott Amazon at least once a week. I mean, at least 1 week a month.
It's hard to do though.
I don't buy from Amazon until I actually need something anyway. But I still wait.
But you know, all these companies are the same. All of them are led by the same kind of people. And so we boycott one, we got to get our stuff from another one.
That's what I'm saying. But we have the power to just choose McDonald's today, Burger King Tuesday, Wendy's Thursday.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Walmart Friday. You know what I'm saying?
You got to put that out there.
Yeah, we're gonna make a plan. That is a feasible thing that every Black person can do. I don't give a fuck if you with it or not. You probably ain't gonna shop there anyways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On that particular day. But every single day, if we can get, even if you say just locally, you know what I'm saying? We can get everybody in Atlanta not to touch no fucking McDonald's. McDonald's is gonna be like, what the fuck is going on?
Now the major thing we need to see about from today is what happens after today's boycott. What's next?
Exactly.
What's the next plan? What's the next thing that's going to be put out? Because I remember we had Well, they already got something in place already, like no buying from Amazon on March 10th or something like that.
Mm.
You know, so
People got to talk. That's the like. We can talk about how negative social media is,
right.
and it is. It's probably the most negative shit. Like,
but it does make the world flat.
But like, this is our best way to communicate with each other.
It makes the world flat. It makes the world flat.
Yeah, I mean, until we create, a mechanism to where we don't need it, I mean, what's our alternative?
Right. That's true. That's true. We don't have an alternative right now. Not a viable one that's strong that can carry the masses of the information that we need. I mean, fan bases come along, but they got a lot of building to do.
I done got into it with that nigga before too.
They got a lot of building. Isaac Hayes Jr.
Yeah, and in the comment section, we done had some back and forth.
When we tell people that we try to hit them, I know a lot of people don't take martial arts, but it's all about following through.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the actual hit. It's about the following through, and going through where you punch through,
right,
and then coming with something behind that. Because one punch, boycott. Because they always say
it's gonna take everybody coming. Your ideas, lab ideas. It's gonna take people talking like. So I mean, that's the only way we're gonna be able to organize the way we need to is people talking, communicating with each other. I look at it like this. I seen all kind of black people in stores today, and I was kind of on the fence about the whole boycott because I didn't really have a lot of information about it. Only thing I knew is Al Sharpton was a part of it, and I don't fuck with Al Sharpton. You know what I mean? So I was kind of on the fence, but I think just to see us doing something. That motivates me regardless of how I felt about today. But the thing is, to the people that may feel a certain way, feeling that all black people didn't come together and do the right thing, you might be feeling discouraged or whatever. My advice to you is think about the first day of the Montgomery bus boycott. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the result. I'm talking about the first motherfucking day. What was happening? That nigga was still getting the Uber. That nigga was still on the bus. You know what I mean? That nigga was still driving.
How to get to work.
Them niggas was still carpooling. You know what I mean? And then you had these niggas over here say, "Man, we ain't fucking with these folks. We gonna walk. We gonna figure it out." You know what I mean? And
it takes seeing your grandma walking, and you be like,
right, but that shit didn't happen on the first day.
Right.
On the first day, you still had a million niggas on the buses. Yeah. Fuck y'all niggas. So how we gonna get to work? You know what I mean?
Right. I got dinner. Everybody
day two, you seen a bunch of niggas on the bus, but it was a few less. Mm-hmm. Day three, you know what I mean? It wasn't in day one. Day one looked like today. Right. Niggas still going to the store, man. Fuck y'all niggas.
Yeah. Because I bet you most of them were saying, "Well, we do it today. What's next? What's tomorrow gonna be like?"
Right. And them the people you gonna get if you can create something sustainable and keep it going. Mm-hmm. But it's gonna take everybody adding their voice to the conversation.
It's got to be a local thing because, unfortunately, we don't have any mom and pop stores that much anymore. But you got to have some way for some people to be like, "Man, I gotta get such and such today. How to get this?" And you bring what they need. It's got to be a way. And I know we so spread out.
But we did that. We had the Green Book. You know what I mean? We had the Green Book at a time when niggas didn't have access to shit.
Right, nothing.
Yeah.
So it's too easy in 2025 to create some type of map that can, or a system or whatever, to connect us all and where we need to go and purchase shit.
And I think it can be done. And you're right. I agree with you. I agree with you because they got that Sundown Town book telling people where not to go, where the sundown towns are. And this is today. I purchased this book last week. Sundown Towns. Showing you where you can go, where you're not supposed to be after dark. All these places that say they're not sundown towns, they are. If they can create that book, we can definitely create this other book.
Right, and that's another great idea that needs to be thrown out there. Mm-hmm. I just think everybody need to keep talking, keep posting about it, keep making it a hot topic. At some point, one of these actors, rappers, politicians, somebody with some clout, they're going to get involved. You know what I mean? And hopefully, that might influence other people to get involved.
I might make a little group. See, what we need is we have Facebook groups for everything, but what you need is a Facebook group on developing those type of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
People from all over that have ideas that want to throw in ideas to develop them to what.
But y'all don't need to talk about those ideas on Facebook. So
unfortunately, we can't talk about it on Facebook.
No, because they'll shut that ideas down. You need to get them together and then say, hey,
meeting
this number here.
Yeah,
let's talk about it. Or this number here temporarily until we get all you guys. Then they give them another number from that number, because what you need to do is you need to keep away from them not to follow you and track you and figure out, they doing this. Let's go arrest Wiz because he doing this. He got 100,000 people in Atlanta talking about this.
Oh yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
That's when all of a sudden Wiz is
getting locked up for something.
Got a sex ring.
Yeah. Everybody got to organize amongst
He got to be like, I never knew that. I mean, he doesn't do it. He never comes out like
all the time.
I've been to his house. I mean,
everybody got to organize where you at. If you in Nebraska, organize in Nebraska. Fuck the rest of the country. Get Nebraska together.
That's what I was talking
about. Everybody got to organize
in
wherever
their
they
state. Yes.
Yeah, because once we get together, then we can.
Right.
Game can start
get on the bus.
And then we can start linking out.
I just want to say this before we go, man, because we've been talking about this. It ain't what we was just talking about, though. But I think, my opinion, is like now. The YNs and even the generation before them, they don't associate themselves with Africa, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Them niggas is American.
Right.
You ask a nigga where they from, they gonna say, I'm from America, nigga.
Right.
You say, nah, you from Africa. Nah, nigga, I was born right here at Grady.
Right.
Yada, yada. And nigga will get into it with you about some shit like that. But when I was coming up and the generations before me, we knew we was from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody said you was from Africa, it was a compliment. It wasn't a diss. Now, the kid's gonna take it all. You trying to shit on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think is when we stopped being African and just started being black. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because black is an American construct.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when we stopped being African and like we did it. They set everything in motion and we got down. We threw the death blow to kill all our ties. I mean, they took us. They took the language, the religion, everything, the mores, the everything from us. So they started it, and then like we just pulled the plug. You know what I mean? Ourselves, and that's what happens. You know what I mean? Like that's just the what was going to happen anyway without somebody intervening or something intervening that was sustainable. You know what I mean? Everybody who tried to intervene got killed or sent to jail. So I think when we just started becoming black and was comfortable with just being black and not African, I think that's when the shift.
I think
fucked us up.
I mean, just for some pushback. I know what you explained what you were saying, but so there's no need for the pushback.
No, pushback.
Because my pushback was going to be if I would have cut you off before you explained what you were saying, as far as a person saying that they're American. I don't like the word American because that's not the name of this.
Black American is the same shit. Black, if you say you black, or if you say you American, I need niggas to know that. That is the same
Christopher
shit.
Columbus, get the fuck over here.
A nigga, hey, go this way, nigga.
Okay, then. Which means we was already here.
We definitely was already here.
Yeah.
No, but I hate the people that say that none of us come from Africa. Like them people are crazy. It was our people were here. This is my opinion. I don't know the facts. I just know what I've learned. I do agree. We did have people here, but we weren't the majority of people here. Like we were a minority. The numbers we had here compared to the Native Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's now we American Indians now.
Do you know?
I'm not no American Indian, nigga. I can trace. I ain't trying to be funny, but I can trace my roots back to West Africa.
Told me, she was like, now my granddad's side maybe something different, but my grandma always like, nigga, we from here.
Like, well, I know for a fact, and I'm gonna cut you off later. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, but
he an American. That's what he's saying.
Like I said, first of all, I got 2 parents, and I got 4 grandparents. You understand me? Mm. But my grandmother used to always be like, "Yo, I'm from here."
Yeah, smooth.
But look, listen. We all watch Roots, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, do y'all remember when Kunta Kinte got old? That new generation of slaves that came in there, they was like, "Man, talk African for us."
Right.
You say we speak. These people were totally disconnected even at that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And Kunta was like, "Man, what the fuck? Who is?"
They said talk African.
Like they was playing with the nigga. Right. Like they didn't
understand.
They didn't know. They thought they were born. That's where they came from, and they was born to be in the position that they were in life. They didn't know nothing about Africa. When Kunta got old, them kids didn't know nothing about Africa. At that point, you know what I mean. So after that, a lot, especially, and I hate to say it, but down south, a lot of our people are gonna have that mentality. You know what I mean. Not just for the wrong reasons because of slavery, but also because, nigga, we made this motherfucker. We built this motherfucker. You know what I mean? My mama birthed me right here on this land. Nigga, this is where I'm from. You know what I mean? So I get that too. But
I was blessed enough to know my great-great-grandmother. She was born in 1884, and she used to always tell us stories about Africa when she was a child and stuff like that, and her father. And so I was blessed enough to know and understand this. Now, the one thing she didn't play was, well, how was it to be a slave, Grandma? She always used to say, and she had a mouth like say, I was never no motherfucking slave. That's just how she said it. But she would tell us stories about it. How her father was, her grandmother. She knew all these people.
Yeah.
And we would talk about it. We sit in her room, talk about it. And then when she get ready, want to talk to the women folk, she kick all the men folk out. But she would talk to us about it. She would say, "Come on, let me talk to y'all." I said, "You sit down, you talk, and you listen, and you pay attention to what she's saying, how she's saying." Now, granted, she wasn't no reader. She was blind, 90% blind, but she remembered.
Yeah.
And she had a good mind. You know what I'm saying? So I was blessed enough to know that. That's why I always wanted to study those things, and so I can know exactly what she was talking about. And then when my grandma started telling me, you got to read. You need to read to me. You need to, tell me how to do this. Read this to me. Read this encyclopedia. I mean, I read one whole summer. I didn't go outside all summer because I had to read the encyclopedia book from A to Z.
Yeah.
And she would cut out the pages, cut out the things, and tell me a story about the birds, or I'm cutting up $200 books, but she didn't care. She just wanted me to show her something. And then when I finished doing my stuff and showing her this and giving her that, she would give me money at the end of the summer. Hey, you did a good job this summer. Yes. Or I always went to summer school anyway. So after summer school, I would come do that. So I painted her whole house. I mean, this is just things that we don't do now, but they did to us then to show us responsibility.
Yeah.
Learning, because they didn't have it. They wasn't allowed to learn and all that, so they wanted us to. So I guess that's what I'm saying. So we got to figure out how to give that back to the generation that we have now, or the generation that's coming.
I don't think my generation had it. So
you don't think so?
Hey man, BDot is cutting it close.
Okay.
They call Kunta the African. His grandkids, all that.
And we call you the hood African.
Perfect segue.
Eastside.
Hey man, it's the last day of Black History Month.
Is it?
Yeah, 28th.
Nah. It's Black History 24/7, 366.
You already know that. You already know that. So keep that in mind next time we call a boycott, because it's probably gonna be next week.
Right.
Just gonna be honest with you. you can stay tuned with You Higher, and you can boycott with us. We'll choose a place
Right.
to boycott everywhere. I mean, I boycott people all the time.
We can start small and work our way up.
There's a chocolate company that I love, and I've been boycotting them for the past couple of years on the behalf of other people. Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's for a good cause.
Third party, goddamn.
I stand with Palestine, man. Come on now.
Now that might get us blocked.
I do too, man.
That might
I
get us
mean,
blocked.
I see people getting the same thing done to them that my people got done. That look like the 1960s over there, don't it?
Yeah.
Except with bombs, with a lot more bombs. Like,
Right, free Palestine.
he was like, yo, forget
That
the water
definitely's gonna get us
hoses.
blocked.
DJ Khaled, stop holding your nuts.
Hey, man, in case you didn't know, if you're feeling low, You Higher, we out.
East side.
You know what, DJ?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it. Yeah, turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up.